If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims. Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Hi, Ann.
Hi.
Ann Mracek. Her mission is to teach mindfulness and compassion to the children of the world and to the child that still lives within each and every one of us. A unique blend of memoir and healing practices, author Ann takes you along in real time through the process of emptying her parents' home as they transition into assisted living. Told with humor, honesty, and empathetic insight, she expertly weaves the vivid stories of her childhood with compassion and the intent to heal and forgive. So happy to speak with you today, Ann.
Thank you. This is so fun.
Well, one of the things I love about you is that you help with natural remedies and talk about herbs. And so before we started the interview, you were saying your daughter's texting you about what should I do?
That's right.
So,
That's right.
so what are some quick tips that we can do for whatever, is it her child that's having symptoms?
Right. My little grandson is having a stomach virus.
Oh, okay.
And so traditional medicine doesn't really have a cure for viruses. They treat symptoms, but the plant world is very wise. And there are plants that actually will cure viral infections, including the stomach bug.
I
So
did
I
not
was
know that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I was suggesting turmeric for an anti-inflammatory, ginger. Ginger will actually help the cure the virus itself. And then there is a plant called skullcap because
Okay.
the flowers look like little hats. They're very cute, little seeds. And if you prepare that as a tea, then you can order it online. But skullcap actually will inhibit the virus molecules themselves from replicating in your system. So there's several different things you can do. Yeah, exactly. Mint is very wonderful for the stomach and calming. So I am also among the many different hats I wear. I'm also an herbalist and an organic gardener. So
Oh, wonderful. That's amazing.
yeah,
And I have heard of the anti-inflammatory benefits of ginger and turmeric, but I didn't
yeah.
know specifically what you were saying about the stomach virus. And oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
incredible. That
It's very,
has,
very helpful. And, at the first inclination of, oh, I don't really feel right, you should start with those teas. Start making yourself teas. Another wonderful one I grow in my garden, calendula flowers.
okay.
They look like little yellow daisies, and I just harvest and dry the blooms, and then I put that into a tea preparation as well. You can use onion skins. It's amazing how healing those are.
For
And
a
sometimes
tea,
when I don't know,
you mean?
huh?
For a tea?
Onion skins. Yeah,
Yeah,
in a
for a
tea.
tea.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And I will use mint, many things like that. Sometimes if I don't really know what's wrong with me, I will use a flower called self heal. I grow that in the garden as well. It's a perennial. It's so easy. It spreads on its own. You just sprinkle the seeds, and forevermore, you're going to have these beautiful lavender flowers in your garden. They come up every year, even though we get below zero in the winter, and dry the blooms. And then that's a wonderful tea. I just simmer the plants in a pot and put them in a sifter, and drink this delicious warm tea. Put a little stevia in there for sweetener, and yeah, you're all set.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I
the
had
plants are
never.
wise. The plants are wise.
Oh,
So
thank you so much for those tips. And I had never
sure.
heard of that flower that
Yeah.
it's lavender and it's called self-healing.
It's called Self Heal. Yeah, the name says it all. If you're not sure what's wrong with you, just drink
That's
Self Heal tea.
incredible.
Yeah. It's an antiviral, an antibacterial, an antifungal. It really pretty much catches everything. So,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's actually delicious. So there you go.
Oh my gosh. I,
Yeah.
I feel like you really resonate with that too because of your colors. You've got the
Right.
purple and the,
Yeah,
lavender
exactly.
eyeshadow. That's wonderful. I'm going to try that. I have to be honest, I've been under the weather the past few days with a sore throat and a little bit of sinus, but I'm feeling better today, but there's still
Yeah.
some congestion and so maybe I could try some of that self-heal flower or
Yes, you absolutely can. And with the sore throat, I would suggest that you do elderberry syrup.
okay.
So, elderberry tea. You can order an echinacea tea, which is purple cornflower that has elderberry in it. All of those are my go-to anytime I have a sore throat, but elderberry in particular. So
Okay.
I have my own elderberry bushes in the yard. Again, they're just a perennial. They're native to Missouri and they just grow like weeds. But you can order the dried berries online and just simmer that in distilled water. I usually add a cinnamon stick and 5 whole garlic cloves.
Oh, wow.
Let
That's a
that simmer.
power punch.
Oh, it's wonderful. 4 cups of water, let it simmer down till there's 2 cups of water. So you're making a reduction sauce basically. Uh, you want to filter, um, pour it through a filter, a strainer, and then add honey to it to taste. And there you go.
Oh, wonderful. And
And that'll fix you right up.
yeah, what do you
So
think?
not
Like
only
a
do I
day of
want to
that?
heal our children as far as emotionally from childhood trauma, but I also want to heal us as as the most natural, fundamentally clean way possible. So I just think that our Gaia, our Mother Earth, the plants are wise. They were here long before we were, and we've evolved with them. And so our system will recognize their healing instantly when you drink these teas.
Oh, wonderful. And what
Mm-hmm.
do you think of like when you buy crushed herbs from the store, like turmeric
It
powder,
just
ginger
depends
powder?
on when they were harvested,
Okay.
how they were dried. You don't want anything that had high heat to dry it because then it can diminish its healing facility in the plant. So I dry all of my herbs in my own dehydrator on a very low heat, basically just a fan.
Oh, I see.
So and you want is it where was it sourced? Is it organically grown?
Yeah.
So all of those things. When I first started into herbalism, I was buying all of my product, but as I found plants that I seemed to resonate with, I began planting them in my garden. So it's a process,
Yeah.
but now I do all my own organic gardening.
Oh, but do you don't sell any of these products?
No,
Okay.
no.
Recommend.
I just friends and family, it's like my daughter will call me up, Mom, I need so and so. Okay, okay.
Oh my gosh, will you be my grandmother? No.
There you go.
My child's grandmother. So
There
get
you
the
go.
stuff from the source. Well, let's talk about your book, Unpacking the
Sure.
Attic. What inspired you to write it?
You know, so many of us have had to traverse through childhood in less than ideal circumstances. So many of us have found ourselves in dysfunctional families. And that was my experience as a child. I've always been an extremely creative, empathic soul, old soul. And I found myself in a family with parents I couldn't relate to at all, not
Hmm.
emotionally, not in any way. I was like fish out of water. They were in very difficult, dysfunctional marriage. My father had a second family,
Oh, interesting.
and was gone a lot. Yeah, and the
Wow.
fights were really severe and loud, and I was caught in the crossfire of all of that as a little one.
And you knew
So
as a child that he had a second family?
I just knew he was gone.
Oh, okay. He was gone. And then
Yeah,
your
I just
mom
knew,
knew.
and I heard, of course, the fighting,
Yeah,
and the circumstances were far beyond my comprehension or understanding it, at that age.
right.
But nevertheless, it put me into this environment of feeling unsafe, of feeling invisible,
Yes.
of feeling like I was a burden, a nuisance,
Yeah,
rather than how, ideally every child should be cherished and
right.
protected and feel safe and feel adored. And you know, that wasn't always my circumstance.
Yeah.
So, um, years and years and years later, my parents suddenly announced they were moving into an assisted living apartment.
Oh,
In
wow.
two
They
weeks,
stayed together after he
they
had
stayed
two families.
together. Is that phenomenal? I know.
That is incredible.
It was financially convenient,
Yeah, for whatever reason. Yes.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And
And can I
so
just
my
say something about you also?
sure.
Just like tuning into you, you're such a bright light and a
Oh,
healer coming in and so sensitive. So I'm sure as a child, you were just like,
oh,
what is this chaos?
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You
And
know,
fortunately, I always felt that my spirit guides talked to me
oh, okay. See, there you go.
as a child. I never was abandoned in the sense that
Yeah.
I always had that inner voice telling
Hmm.
me this is temporary. You're okay. Eventually you will understand. You will get through this. And that's actually was part of the reason for writing Unpacking the Attic.
Mm.
So my parents said, we need you to empty our home for resale. So they gave me 2 weeks notice.
Woohoo!
I thought I could do it in 2 weeks. This was a 3-story, 6,000 square foot home with 56 years full of stuff.
You need 3 months, girl,
Even about 5 months.
or 5 months. Okay.
It was long enough to write a book.
Wow, that's intense.
It was intense. And what was interesting, as the items from my childhood began to literally be taken out of the attic and out of the home, it was as if they had their own energetic that was washing over me. And I began to relive and experience and see memories and emotions from my childhood that I had suppressed for decades.
Oh, wow.
Specific circumstances and experiences became very vivid. And I'll tell you what triggered it. It was very interesting. I'm a musician and I've taught private piano lessons for decades. I hired a company to help me with this daunting task of emptying this enormous home. Because I can't carry out big furniture items and things
Right,
like
of
this
course.
by myself. So this company had college hunks that were going to come in and help me. They were the
I
muscle,
know
right?
that
Thank goodness.
company.
Yeah.
Hunks.
And they were delightful. But on the very first day, one of these big strapping men walked up to me and went, Miss Ann. And I'm standing there like, do I know you? And he's like, it's Corey. And I'm still blank, right? He goes, you taught me piano when I was 7.
Oh,
Well, changed.
yeah,
He was no longer 7.
right.
But suddenly in that instant, I got this flash as clear as today of this little boy with his upturned nose and his freckles trying to find the melody on the piano we both knew was in there somewhere. And it suddenly enabled me to see another child, and that was myself. And I began from that moment on to re experience these suppressed memories from my childhood. It brought to surface feelings of rejection, abandonment, humiliation, injustice, betrayal, which I label as the 5 childhood traumas that I think just all human beings experience at some point, right?
Okay.
Even though the circumstances for each of us are different. I think the underlying humanity is the same. And I decided it was time to stop listening to those bad internal programmings and to stop fighting emotionally those old battles. So
Mm.
I put down the sword and I picked up the pen
Mm.
and I began journaling.
You have
And
such a
I
good
wrote
story.
down
You
every
nailed it.
one of those memories, every one of them.
Wow.
And then I put them in a file cabinet and I closed the door. And I never intended on making those public. So
Yes, it was just a release, a
it was a healing
recognition.
journey for me.
Yes.
So interestingly, I'd mentioned that I have my spirit guides that I
Yeah.
trust and I hold on to dearly. My father passed away in the interim. And then one night, I don't know, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, I was woke up with the voice in my mind saying, the title of your book is Unpacking the Attic. And I'm like, thank you. What book? I'd completely forgotten. And they're like, the book you wrote, it's in the file cabinet.
The book you wrote.
Remember about your childhood. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that wasn't supposed to be a book. And they said, you know what? It's time. It's time. You need to help others with this.
Yeah.
So I woke my husband up. I'm like, I just got this message. He's like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Right.
But it does seem
So
like the right time because your father
my
passed.
father had passed. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the next morning, I'm going through my emails like I always do. And there is a letter in my inbox from the Steve Harrison Publishing Group. Never heard of them, didn't reach out to them. And my husband, like, it's a sign, you need to call them. So I called and I talked to Joe, and who's wonderful. You probably know Joe. And he said, you know what? Read me your introduction in your first couple chapters, which I did. And there was this long silence that I thought, oh gosh, he hates it. And he said, I'm in tears. You have touched me somewhere very deeply, and you need to publish this. I was very surprised. I very, very surprised. And he said, oh yes, this needs to get out into the world.
So do they have a
So
company
by
too?
the end of that day, I had signed on with the Steve Harrison Publishing Group. And
Oh, they do have a publishing group.
oh yeah, and I
Mhm.
turned the book into an actual healing journey, an actual published books. It's available now on Amazon. So and I'll tell you what, you have to have a great love and compassion for others to allow yourself to be that vulnerable with your own personal journey.
Yes.
And I decided that my passion, because my mission truly is to teach mindfulness, compassion, self love as well to all the children of the world, to the children who all still live within each of us. And I always ask myself, how does this fit with my soul's purpose? And it was in such beautiful alignment. I thought, okay, I will allow myself to be vulnerable and I will finish off this manuscript and turn it into an actual book with all the healing practices. So many of the healing practices that I did for myself, I didn't actually write down. I wrote the memory and then I did the healing practices for myself, but I didn't actually put it onto paper. So I went ahead and I wrote out everything that I had done for myself to reframe and move on and to be able to send an adult perspective back in time to that little child that still lives within, and the comfort and the reassurance that that child didn't get. So it is possible to be your own parent, right? So that was part of the process. And you know what? As they always say, the teacher learns more than the student oftentimes, right? So going through this process of writing all of this out for others really was transformative for me as well. It really solidified for me and finished the transformation, going from being a frightened child that told herself, I am not worthy of being loved. I'm broken. I must be a bad child for all of this to be happening around me. Children see the world as they're the causation
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have the bigger context. They don't have the capacity to understand the complex adult problems that are going on around them. So therefore, all they know is me. So they think, well, I must be a bad child. They must not love me because I'm bad, right? And I carried a lot of those internal dialogues with me for decades. So, yeah,
Yeah. And
I
then also,
realize now that the only way to move forward from that is to extend love and compassion to the adults that were in those scenarios and to forgive.
mm, that's so beautiful. And the other aspect, I feel, I mean, it's my opinion that your parents weren't present to that fact and weren't able
Yes.
to explain
Right.
or give another reality to you. But your guides did. Thank you,
Yes.
guides.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So it's like also, I also feel like it's helping children embracing their abilities. If they're
Yes.
hearing spirits or seeing spirits,
Yes.
they're there to help us. Don't be
They
afraid.
are they are so there to help us. They're so there to tell us that we're valued, we're loved. We are made by a precious, perfect, loving universe. And we have our own soul's mission and expression, our own creative expression that we need to shine our own light into the world, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah. So
very
how,
important.
oh, thank you for sharing that. So how long did it take you to write the book and then explain the process and then submit it to the
Sure.
publishing? And
So,
congratulations, by the way.
oh, thank you.
That's so
Thank you.
synchronistic and just beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, the book's only been up on Amazon a couple weeks actually.
Oh my God,
So type in Unpacking the Attic.
it's ready.
But yeah, it actually took almost exactly, which I think is funny, 9 months from when I signed on with the Steve Harrison group to when it was on Amazon. So I feel like I birthed the book. It's my
Yes,
second child.
the gestation period.
Right.
Amazing. That's another
It was
synchronicity.
kind of amazing. Yeah, exactly. But there's having never gone through that whole process before, I was very grateful to have a professional group to guide me through it. There's a line editor and there's a someone that does the internal layout of the book, and there's someone that does this. Oh, there's just so many things. Um, Once you have the written manuscript, then there's so many people that massage it and do the page layout and decide on the type fonts. And I mean, oh my goodness, put it into Chicago style where all the commas need to be. And oh my gracious. But having a good professional editing team was so wonderful, was so valuable. And they
Yes.
made wonderful suggestions to me.
Mm,
At the beginning of each chapter, for instance, there is what I put as a little quote, but I mean that I wrote that for me encapsulates the emotion and the intent of each chapter.
oh,
So,
wow. Yeah, give us an example.
for example, we'll just open up this baby randomly. Okay, so this chapter is called My First Dance Class Was Almost My Last. And above the title of the chapter, I have I Will Prove You Wrong and Dance with Fairies.
Mm,
So each chapter has a little sentence above the start of it that really gives you the emotion and the tone. Um, for example, chapter entitled Trees Rooted in My Heart, and the sentence at the top. If you are the only one to remember me, it will be enough.
Yeah.
Right?
And that
So
was like
each
a
one,
tree in your life as a child, or that was in your neighborhood, or
there's several stories actually
oh, okay.
in this chapter. One is the dogwood tree that was planted in the front yard that I grew up with. It was the backdrop for every Easter bonnet photo.
Amazing.
And eventually it was taken down by the new owners. So that's that cycle of life.
You're right.
And it had been damaged in a hailstorm, so it was no longer the perfect symmetrical
Oh,
showcase that it used to used to be. But we still loved it and cherished it because we had a history with it, right?
right. Yeah.
So do you see how that can be metaphorical?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that as we age, we may not retain that perfect symmetry and that beautiful exterior, but there is still a wisdom and a depth there, and there is the value in the shared experience.
Yes. And
So
I really love that example. It's near and dear to my heart as I grew
mhm,
up in the forest, in a
yeah,
rainforest and trees.
yeah,
And I
mhm,
just think trees, it's true, they're always there for us. There's
yeah,
God, your guides,
yeah,
and trees.
yeah. It's kind of yeah, and just being grounded,
Yeah.
literally, walking barefoot on our earth, getting your electrical system synced up with Mother Earth.
Mm.
So valuable. It's instant cure for jet lag, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
great
yeah.
tip. Thank you for
So
that.
my husband and I are avid travelers. Actually, we're leaving in just a couple of weeks for a tour of India.
Oh my gosh, is it your first time
Uh-huh.
to India?
First time to India.
Okay.
And the first thing we'll do when we get there is find a patch of grass and walk around barefoot for about an hour.
Oh, wow.
And
An
our
hour.
bodies, uh-huh, and our bodies will line up with the electromagnetic signal of the earth in that spot. And your internal chemistry and your internal electrical system will say, "Oh, we know where we are," and you'll be fine.
Oh my God. I can't believe
Yeah,
I've never heard that before. I mean, I've heard of
yeah,
earthing, but the way
yeah,
you talk about it is so specific for jet lag.
uh-huh,
And
yeah,
oh, and you really need it to India. I mean, that's like 24 hours or something
yeah.
like
It's
that.
yeah. Well, it's from where I live. It's going to be 11 and a half hours ahead. So I mean, it's significant. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I'm not worried about it at all. We've done Morocco, we've done it, we've been all over the world, and the very first thing we do is stand barefoot somewhere on the earth. Now, concrete's not going to do it; it has to be on the earth.
Has to be the
But
earth. Right. That makes sense.
line up, and you're fine.
Okay, I am curious a little bit of your itinerary of India. What cities are you going to?
Oh my goodness, Jaipur, Jodhpur.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll land in. Oh, where are we landing in?
New Delhi. Are you
Delhi, right? I was
Delhi?
trying to
Okay.
say, yeah, yeah. I was trying to say
Whatever.
Denmark. Like, no, that's another trip.
Yeah, Bombay. Yeah, say
Delhi, right,
yeah,
exactly.
Delhi.
We're going to
Okay.
Mumbai, yeah.
Okay.
So basically the Golden Triangle.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go see
Great.
the Taj Mahal, of course.
Okay, amazing. I did that trip. My friend, she was born in Arizona, but her
Uh-huh.
mom and dad are Indian, like born in
Oh
India.
yeah, yeah.
So she's Indian, but Indian
Uh-huh.
American, because she was
Right.
born here. But
Sure.
her wedding was in India. So I went there for her
Oh,
wedding, and that's what I
fabulous.
did. The
Yeah,
Mumbai, Taj,
sure.
So
Fabulous.
get ready for the roads. What I say is like you have to trust.
Well, we figured
It's like
we've been to
playing chicken.
Cairo.
Yeah. Oh,
We've been
I
to
was supposed to
Cairo
say that.
twice, so it
Okay.
can't be too much worse than that.
Yeah. Okay. I've been to Cairo. It is okay because there's no direction. So Cairo actually has directions. India, they just go like this, and then at the last minute they go like that.
Oh my gosh. I just want to look.
I never seen anything like it. And they're so calm. They're so spiritual, just
Yeah.
inherently.
Yes.
They're just
Yes.
like, trusting that, oh, and if they get in an accident, they just like move on. I don't know why I wanted to get into that. I just think it's interesting. But
Oh,
anyway, I hope that you and your husband have an incredible time.
it
And
will
it's
be wonderful.
such a
And I
blessing.
think the reason we really love to travel is because we really love to connect with the people.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And it's really part of my journey. I really see the beauty and the value in every culture.
Mhm.
And each soul is so precious, and each one is shining their light in the best way they can in the circumstances in which they find themselves, right? But if you can just, when you're traveling, give that genuine smile and appreciate them. And it's like, I see you, right? I see you. I appreciate you and I see you, and I honor and I value you as another spirit, as another human being. And you can have such marvelous conversations and interactions and beautiful experiences with people anywhere.
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
just think they're really gonna love you. I mean, they just like all the people in India. You're gonna be like the goddess flying in.
Aw,
And, um, and I also wanted to say it's such a blessing you and your husband found each other, and to have that in common, and then also be on the same page with the earthing and grounding. So
absolutely. And we've been together now over 30 years, and we are such a good partnership. I have always been very right brained. I'm a composer. My YouTube channel, My Best Friends Live in the Woods, is actually the novel of that name that I'm presenting one chapter at a time as a ongoing TV series on YouTube. I'm the narrator. I tell the stories. I make up a voice for each character. It's all little forest animals are the characters. There's Albert the raccoon and Mother Skunk and Jimmy Squirrel, and they're all the little characters that interact. And I compose all the background music for every chapter because as as we know, when we go to a movie or anything like that, it's the music that creates the emotion. It
yes.
informs you of the emotional context of the story. And so, with both my bachelor's and master's degree in music composition, and I'm a concert pianist, what I do is I compose the piano score for the underlying emotion of the story as it progresses. So there'll be 4, 5, maybe even 6 music compositions for each story, depending on how the mood changes within the story as it progresses. And I record those and put those up, and then I paint all of the illustrations and do coloring book pages for each one and so forth. But each chapter is followed by a discussion and questions, and it's to encourage meaningful conversation about the concepts that are presented, because every chapter teaches mindfulness, like, is bullying ever acceptable? How do we live in community? Appreciation. How do we appreciate the uniqueness of each of us? So there's a specific teaching point, or 2 or 3 from each chapter. So I unravel then, how did the characters interact? What did they do well? Where could they have improved? And then I ask specific questions for the audience to ask themselves so that you can relate it to your own life.
I love that. That's
So
right up my alley. And
that's,
and gosh, you're so incredibly creative. You're doing the pictures, the music, I mean,
yeah.
writing it. Oh, wow, you're a rock star. That's
So
amazing.
the only, I if it's on the creative right brain side, I find great expression for that.
Hmm.
And for me personally, the opposite of depression is not joy. The opposite of depression is expression. I find when I am expressing my creative flow,
Hmm.
when I am in that channeling, I find my bliss there. So, in order for me to have this fulfilled joy in my life, I need to be creating. I need to be expressing. For example, when I'm composing, I will reread the story. I will internalize the emotion of the moment that I want to express. I will sit in front of the piano, put my fingers on the keys, and send up a prayer of gratitude.
Oh,
And I always get in that place of thankfulness. And I thank my spirit for the music
yeah.
as if it's already happened. And then, I begin to hear it. And I will play the music note by note by note as I hear it and write it down. And when I put down the pen, it's almost as if I've come out of a trance and I have a completed score in front of me. And I never go back or change a note.
That's channeling.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my
So
God.
I feel like the music is completely channeled. I have a master's degree in music composition. I mean, I know how to compose. I know all the techniques, but that's not how it happens for me. I hear it coming through as a finished composition. All I have to do is write it down.
Mm,
So that is definitely a channeling. And I find bliss in that experience. So much of what I wrote in Unpacking the Attic was actually channeled from my spirits.
mm,
The actual healing practices were all gifts. They were all channeled.
incredible. That's so
Mhm.
powerful.
Yeah.
And going back to your book,
Mhm.
how are childhood traumas and limiting beliefs holding us back?
I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
When I remembered my grandfather, we used to call him Pop. This is my dad's father. I remembered an instance when my parents took him to his two-family flat to visit. And when I got there, the only two words I ever remember Pop saying to me were, "Sit down." And he would point to that red velvet couch, and I would sit there. And he and my parents would go into the kitchen. And as I sat, I would smell dinner cooking. I would hear conversation. What seemed to the toddler an eternity, they would finally come back into the living room. And Pop would sit in his big green overstuffed chair and stare out the window and puff on his pipe. Oh, you know what? Just a moment. I have that pipe. Let me show
Okay.
you it.
Okay.
Let me get it. It's right over here. I kept it.
That was
This
fast.
is one of the things. Can you see it?
I love that pipe. It's like from
It's a
India.
it's like a Turkish sultan.
Yeah, Turkish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I found this pipe literally in my parents' attic, it still smells of cherry wood smoke. And scents can really trigger memories.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what triggered this memory. And he would sit there in that big green overstuffed chair and stare out the window and fill the room with cherry wood smoke. And as a child sitting there, I thought to myself, Pop doesn't love me. He won't look at me. All I ever wanted to do was sit in his lap, and it never happened.
Wow. Not once.
Not once. Not once. And I internalized as that I must be a bad child. There must be something wrong with me. I am not worthy of being loved.
Mm,
And I carried that dialogue with me for decades,
mm-hmm.
for decades. And in writing Unpacking the Attic, I had a flash of something my mother had said years ago, which was, Pop lost his luster for life when your grandmother died. So he lost his wife. She was quite young. She was in her 50s. She died of diabetes. And I began to put two and two together as an adult. And I realized there wasn't anything wrong with the little redhead toddler sitting there with her big blue eyes, frightened. Pop just was shut down. He was still in deep grief, and his heart didn't have any room for a toddler. So it
Yeah.
was nothing that I did wrong. It's just that I couldn't possibly have comprehended the circumstances in which I found myself. Right.
Right.
So I remembered then, speaking of travel, I remembered a trip my husband and I took to China. Now, stay with me. You'll see why China's important. And
I
we were
loved
walking
my
through
trip
the,
to China. China's
yeah,
amazing.
we were walking through the alleyways of Beijing, and there were tables and tables set up selling what looked like to me like paper dolls. They had pictures of houses and pictures of new cars and pictures of washing machines and weird stuff, right? And I asked our tour guide, do people buy these for the kids to play with? Is this like paper dolls? And he was mortified. Oh, heavens, no. Families buy these for their deceased. He said, in our religion,
Sorry.
he said,
I
in
hope
our
I'm not
religion, we
disrespecting
believe
the
that
culture.
when you pray over an item, of an image of something, with the intent of gifting that to your family member who has passed on, and then you burn it, the smoke will rise to the spirit world and manifest itself in the spirit realm as the item that was depicted as a gift for the deceased. So they were giving their deceased new homes and new cars and right.
Oh
So
my God. Wow.
yeah. So I put all of this together in my musings and I decided to write Pop a letter.
Oh,
And at first, all I wanted to do was yell at him and demand an apology. How could you do that to a toddler? What were you thinking was wrong with you? Right.
yeah.
But in the end, I wrote, I'm sorry you were broken. And
Mm.
we both deserve so much more. And you lost out on one of life's greatest joys. And that was the
Oh,
ability to laugh with your grandchild. But I forgive you. And I put that letter in a green ceramic bowl to represent his chair. And I lit it. And you know what? As that smoke rose, I was flooded with goosebumps and spirit download. And I felt this unbelievable compassion and love for him that I had never felt. I'd always felt rejected and angry,
mm,
and it released me.
mm.
And so, that anger and that resentment of Pop no longer lives in my soul. That
Yay!
forgiveness, yeah, that forgiveness completely rewrote that scenario. I no longer carry that inner dialogue of I am not worthy of being loved. It's gone. I understand that that was a circumstance that needed so much more adult understanding that the child couldn't possibly apply to that. Couldn't possibly.
Right.
And so that's the kind of journey that Unpacking the Attic takes the reader on. That's just one example of 50 chapters. But that experience of now as an adult, allowing myself to feel and relive, because until you feel, you can't heal,
Mm.
right?
Yes, that's a
So,
wonderful statement.
yeah. And it's as if I have been my own parent and I have reassured the child that lives within me of the things that should have been told me when I was little, but weren't. So it's never too late. So I'm doing that now for my inner child.
Mm. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm just looking back on my own childhood. I was alone a lot. That's why I love the trees and the woods. Um,
Yes.
but
Yes.
when I did see my grandparents, my grandfathers were loving and playful
Oh,
and
that's
all that.
marvelous.
But my
Yeah.
grandmothers were not. They were the opposite.
Yeah.
So
It's
that was
interesting, isn't it?
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on both sides of the family, a coldness,
Hmm.
a shield,
Yeah.
like your grandfather,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
wanting to open their heart to any light. So yeah, but it's
Yeah.
wonderful to forgive that
Yeah.
and
And that's what Unpacking the Attic will do.
okay.
From everyone that has read it, they've all told me it has taken them on their own journey. It has enabled them to look at their own childhood. So, like I said, even though the specifics will be different, the underlying human emotion experience is universal.
Mm, yeah.
And it will empower you with the ability to reframe those memories and those feelings so that you can move forward. You can free yourself of that. Forgiveness makes it so that he no longer has free rent in my soul.
That sounds good. It
Yeah.
feels like a musical or play, no free
Yeah.
rent.
Yeah.
That would be good about
Yeah.
people's forgiveness. Well, can
Yeah.
you share about how you were rescued by an angel?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Actually happened twice. The
Okay.
first time when I was in grade school, the second time my husband and I experienced together.
Oh, how
So years
magical.
apart. Yeah. As a child, the only thing I was good at in gym class at all was gymnastics.
Well, that's
And
good.
yeah, yeah. And this one particular instance, this one day, I was literally in a handstand upside down on the parallel bars when the bell rang. And the gymnasium adjoined the cafeteria. There were three doors that adjoined the two rooms. And a horde of grade school boys came charging into the gymnasium from the cafeteria. And one of them banged full force into the parallel bars as I was upside down in his handstand. As I came thudding to the floor, my left knee hit the apparatus screw and then landed in the 2-inch space between the mats. And I blacked out. When I came to, that knee was the size of a grapefruit, which was impressive on that scrawny little leg. And to this day, I do not know why they didn't call my mom and have her come pick me up. They did not. And to this day, I do not remember why I had to take the late bus home. Now, normally the bus would drop me off at the end of my driveway. And I figured, well, I could scoot on my butt from there if I needed to get to the front door, right? Because I really couldn't walk. I
Wow.
was in so much pain. Well, the late bus drove completely past my neighborhood and about 5 blocks down and dropped me off at the top of the street. Now, as a tiny child, I wasn't even sure how to get home from there. And I
Oh,
tried to explain to the bus driver, I can't walk and I don't know where I am. And he basically just said, shut up and get out.
oh, jeez.
So I'm standing there on this curb, really not knowing where I am, not able to walk. I tried to walk, and it hurt so bad I broke out in a sweat. I was in tears. And I wondered if eventually my parents would come driving the streets looking for me like a lost dog.
Yes.
I mean, this was before cell phones, right? I was
Right, right.
stranded. Okay. And in that moment, I sent out a prayer and I said, help me. I
Yeah.
don't know how to get home.
Yeah.
And as I opened my eyes, there was a blue car, like old blue car in front of me. And the door opened. I don't know how, it just opened. And it had a white interior that literally shone. And this beautiful blonde young lady leaned over and said, Ann, get in the car. I'll drive you home. Now, I knew better than to get in the car with a stranger, right? I mean, I had been taught that much. But I had this overwhelming feeling of unconditional love and rescue. And she knew my name. And you know what?
You
I
didn't
struggled.
know her? It was an angel?
No,
Oh my God.
I got in the car. I had no idea. And as I sat there, I had this sense that she knew everything there was to know about me. And we
Oh,
didn't speak a word to each other. We just sat there knowing.
yeah.
And she drove me right to my driveway, which I couldn't have given her directions if I'd had to. And I got out of the car and I glanced at the house and I turned back to say thank you. And the car had vanished
Yeah, it was an angel.
just that fast. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's such a crazy. I love that
Yeah.
story. I've
And
never
I
heard
really did
anything like it.
scoot on my rear up to the front door.
And then
At, at the,
did they call the hospital or go take you?
I honestly don't remember
Ah!
much past that, but I do remember sitting on the front porch and the doorbell was way over there. And I was thinking, oh, I wish it would just ring. And it did. And it was if she was still there and winking at me.
You're
So
powerful.
that was my first experience. Now, my second experience, my backup angel found my car keys.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. I was meeting my husband for lunch, at a restaurant called Blueberry Hill, which is famous in the St. Louis area. It's where Chuck Berry used to perform on Wednesday
Okay.
nights. And it's this old house. It's been turned into a restaurant. And there's rooms, like dozens and dozens of old rooms, each with a theme in their nostalgic decorations. And I was running late. And so I put the money in the meter and I dashed blocks down to the restaurant and met my husband. And they took us to, I swear, like through 87 rooms to the very back of the restaurant and sat us down. And we placed our order and we're talking, and it's this wonderful, sunshiny postcard weather day. And suddenly there's this man staring down at us. We're sitting and we look up. There is this magnificent black man
Uh-huh.
with dreadlocks literally down to his knees in
That was an angel.
the brightest African plaid red and yellow and orange shirt you've ever seen in your life. And I mean, the man glowed. And in this beautiful sonorous baritone, he says, "Did you lose your keys?" Looking right at me, or maybe through me. And I'm stammering around going, "Oh, I don't think so." And I'm looking at it, he starts laughing in this beautiful, like melodious tone. And he reaches his hand out and he gives me my car keys. And he looks at me, he says, "Ann, you dropped your keys."
See, they called you your name again.
He called me my name again. And then I looked down and got in my purse and I was going to pull out a $20 bill to give him as a thank you, right?
Yeah,
He was gone,
he was gone. Oh my
vanished. And my husband even jumped up and tried to run to catch him, to find him, right?
God. Uh-huh.
Now, he would have had to have wound back through literally like 8
All of
rooms
that. Yeah.
and upstairs and woven in and out between tables and waitresses and so forth. And Richard, my husband, even ran and looked up and down the street thinking, how could he have possibly? No, he just vanished. And
That's amazing.
Richard got back to the table and we both realized we had been rescued and had someone. And then I got a flash of seeing my car keys drop as I put the money in the meter.
Oh, then you knew it was, where it was.
Yeah.
Well, I have a last question for the day.
Sure.
What is Zen success to you?
Always following your heart.
Mm.
Oh, I always ask my heart, how does this align with my soul's purpose? And then
question.
I check in with my inner child.
Okay.
I will ask myself, have I made a safe space for someone else today? Have I given unconditional love? Have I really seen and connected with the people that I've talked to today in my life? And I realized the only one I need to please, the only one I need to be accountable for really is my inner guides and my inner child, my inner soul. And I feel like if I can create a safe space and express myself creatively through my soul's purpose, then everything else falls into place.
That's so beautiful. I love ending on that. It's been such a pleasure connecting with you, hearing about your book, Unpacking the Attic, and also your book on YouTube.
Yes. My best friends live in the woods. That's right.
Yes. I'll put your website and how to look up your book and buy your book in the show notes. So thanks for being on my show today, Ann.
Thank you so much. Really a delight. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I think we should connect as girlfriends.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to ZenSuccessShow.com to help you on your Zen success journey. And join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.
With the state of today's economy, it's more important than ever to invest in products that last for years to come. As the seasons shift and get cooler, make sure your closet is stocked with durable layers that stand the test of time from American Giant. American Giant's clothes work harder and are wearable season after season. Their greatest hoodie ever made is made from the highest quality materials that are cut and sewn right here in the United States. So you're investing right back in your local community. Choosing American Giant means taking a stand for American manufacturing and hardworking Americans, something other mega corporations don't care about. From fleece to knit, all in a range of colors for versatile daily wear, American Giant delivers everyday pieces designed for everyday life. Feel the difference of quality, made-to-last clothes from American Giant. Get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20 at american-giant.com. That's 20% off your first order at american-giant.com with code STAPLE20.